getting exciting because now we're in the month where we're going to start to build out your personal success plan. So the idea behind everything that we've done is to really retrain your brain, understand your habits, your life, who you are, get a deeper understanding of you. So in finding your life's purpose, you're finding passion again, you're excited, moving you in those, really moving you toward a future that you create, and you're finding your why. And if I just, before we get into the understanding of rebuilding the habits, I can't reiterate enough how important that is. If you're not moving forward and things aren't working for you, your why is not big enough, and you don't have an understanding of yourself, and then I would say you have to go back and restart the whole course. We're in on month 3. If you've fallen short and you're not like really like getting clearer and understanding, and you're still losing, and you feel still frustrated, understand that can be a normal thing. We're going to go through the process, but you might have to go back and revisit and do it again. You might go do the same thing again and go, what did I miss here? Because your why, it's simple. You didn't find your big enough why. And that's on you. Then you have to do more inner work, and I would say repeat the whole thing, which would go back into building new habits, because you didn't discover the old habits enough, and you didn't get deep enough into the brain. And understand that that could be a normal process. So if for some reason that happened, understand that that's okay too, that's the norm. Why? Because the brain and our lives, we work in cycles and in loops, and it's tough because if you've never taken the time to really look back at your life, if you've never taken the time to really analyze yourself, if you've never spent enough time in the deeper self work, it's going to be more challenging for you than most people who have. But understand that's actually the norm. So you're not abnormal. It's actually more abnormal to get into the program and just go, yeah, and get through it. It's exciting and everything else, of course, and we can move forward to the next things and understand, and we're building our plans. But if for some reason any of these things fall short, no problem. Don't beat yourself up. That's the most important thing, because there's a difference between, so when I say to people, like, if you were to come to me, you're perfect the way you are. That's true, absolutely. You're perfect. You're a perfect being as you are. That's the way you're meant to be. You're meant to be imperfect, though. Learning to love the imperfections, okay, but we want to improve upon the imperfections and grow. But understanding the difference between going, this is where I'm at, this is what it is, I'm accepting of that as it is. Like, I accept that that's the truth. However, I'm going to make efforts to improve my situation, because this isn't where I want to be forever. But that's your way of taking your power back. That's the difference. That's a way of taking your power back. So how do we build new habits? How do we build new healthy habits? Well, habits are something that, okay, so when we've taken our, and that's why it was so important. So if you didn't spend the time really doing that, the bigger vision into, the goals, into the focus goals, you're going to have a harder time creating the new habits. And that's where people fall short, because they didn't do the first part of the work. They skip that step and they think, oh, whatever. And then they go to create these habits, and then they do the habits for, they might get through the 21 days. They might even get through and do these habits for a couple months, and then it's going and they get results. And then what? They crash and fall apart. It's the longevity. Because if you don't do the first part, you're never going to get the longevity. And you're going to have to keep repeating that cycle and that loop until you learn that lesson. And that is the true, deeper understanding, and really even the whole premise of finding your own inner purpose and your life's purpose and your mission and your path and your why is on that repeat cycle. And you're going to have to keep repeating and repeating, which is so frustrating, until you do something different to change. Until you do something different to change. So how are we going to rebuild new habits? How are we going to rebuild new habits? And that's what we're going to be taking a look at. So let's build new habits, where that comes from. So understand a basic kind of thing. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit, right? And then so understand it's going to be an uncomfortable process at times, but it could be an exciting one. And we start these routines, and we want to be forgiving to ourselves too in that process. right? That's a big thing. And the videos, there'll be further videos below with some strategies in some ways, but I just want you to get your head wrapped around the fact that building these new habits is a learned skill. So it's something that takes practice. We practice something, we become better at it, and then it just becomes our regular routine. Brushing our teeth, I'm sure when we were kids, right? I don't want to brush our teeth. We're not in that. And then you get into your life, you go, oh, I got to brush my teeth. Why? Well, because I don't like what happens when my teeth are dirty, when I'm not, I ate something, I want to have clean teeth. It just happens. You don't even recognize it over the years that you're doing it. It just happens. That's what will eventually happen when you get into your good habits, so much so you don't even recognize that you do that. So when you're in the good habits of taking care of your body, it's just second nature. It just is. That's your basic standard. Then when it's your basic standard, you evolve to the next thing in life to grow. And that's where so many people stay stuck too and not move forward to their next goals, is because they never truly addressed the root cause of the issues that was causing that loop in the first place, to end that loop, to move toward the next things. So that is again why I say it is so important. It is so important that you have that first piece set, because if you skip steps, if you didn't do it, if you didn't take the time to go more in depth and take a deeper look at yourself and understand yourself, it won't work. You're going to be set back. But understand, if you're set back, that's exactly what needed to happen. So let's build some new habits. Let's get you to the next step. Let's get this going.